Hello there, Lisa Starr here with another episode of StarCast, this one from the road. We are at the We Work Well hosted buyer event in La Jolla at the beautiful Estancia Hotel. This is our last spa event of the year, and I'm happy to be joined by someone I've known a long time, but has never been on the podcast. Scott Duncan, now the owner of Spa Gregory's with 2 locations in Southern California, that has been in operation for 26 years, has so much experience in the spa and wellness industry. So it was great that he could join us.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. And you're not singing or playing a guitar, just talking.
I'm not a good singer, and I have a few chords. I can strum the guitar.
Okay. So Scott, how did you get involved with Spa Gregory's at the onset?
Oh boy. Okay. So that story is kind of interesting. I was in aerospace, and during that time, and I was in my young 20s, I dated a gal just for like 1 month who was a massage therapist. And I was extremely stressed out at that time, and I was going to be taking a 2-week vacation. She inspired me to take a massage class. And during that time, I thought that was the silliest thing I've ever heard, but I did it. And it was a 10-day class. It was the first 100 hours. You gave 3 massages a day. You received 3 a day. And the first couple days, I was trying to figure out how to get out of the class. At the end of the 10 days, I fell in love with everybody in the class, and it changed my life.
Amazing story. I had no idea about that.
Yeah. And then after that, I opened up a mini spa at Big Canyon Country Club in Newport Beach. And my reputation kind of took off when I was selected by the Secret Service to serve H.W. Bush. How I got selected, I have no idea. They still never told me why.
When you say serve him, like he came there for massages?
Massage, yeah. I was always available to him when he came to town, and I massaged the president at that time.
Oh my God.
And my reputation at that time, because of that, and again, this was something, somehow I was selected. I don't know how the process worked, but they never shared that with me. My reputation grew in that area, in that Orange County area.
That helps, having the president stop by.
It helps, yes. When you're that trusted to serve the president in that way, I think that just garners that respect across a lot of different formats, So, but I met then Chuck and Angela Courtright, and they were coming out of high tech. I was coming out of aerospace, and we talked about opening up a nice high-end day spa in Newport Beach because there was a big need, and they were getting massages all the time because of their stress level. And so we opened up Spa Gregory's in 1998.
Why was it called Spa Gregory's?
Well, that's a story that's a very boring answer. There's never been a Gregory's involved. So there was a salon Gregory's in existence before us, many years before us. And it was the most sought after salon in Newport Beach at the time. When Tony opened Salon Gregory's, there was a person named Gregory that was going to be a partner, never became a partner. They already registered the name. And that's where the name Gregory's came from. But there's never been a Gregory's involved in the company. We took on the name, so we had a nice storefront between Salon Gregory's and the spa. And then Salon Gregory's has since closed down. They no longer exist, and we own the brand Gregory's. So that's how that Gregory's brand came about.
Well, that's a funny story that I also never heard. So 26 years in, how many employees do you have? How many people work there?
Well, we've fluctuated over the years. We had 3 locations at one point here, one of them here in San Diego and Del Mar. And during that time, we had probably about 140, 150 at any given time. But right now, after COVID, we have the 2 locations, and we are sitting around anywhere from 60 to 80, depending on the season.
That's a good number.
Yeah, good number.
Still a lot of people.
Fantastic people. And we have, I wouldn't say a majority, but a good amount of those people have been with me for over 20 years. Yeah.
That's a testament to good management.
Yeah. Thank you.
So what do you see? Like, Scott, you've been along through so many changes, the booming of the spa industry, economic downturns, COVID, and now what are you seeing on the horizon? Are there changes in customers or how you're marketing the business?
Well, I think with marketing, everything shifted to social media, and that became the big trend. I'm not so sure that is the only answer to marketing. I think a lot of people I know are going back to a little bit of print ad, getting a little more into the community.
Some direct mail even?
Yeah. I don't know if the social media has become a little bit watered down at this point, but it's shifting back in that direction. And then our email database, we were told years ago that's going to die. But that's, we get our number one responses through our email database, number one.
How many people are in it?
We have approximately 50 to 60,000.
That's a pretty nice size database.
We have a good database. Yeah. We've been collecting that database for years, and our clients stick with us because we are so tied into our community. We have also format in our newsletter that invites them in for contributions that we give to the community.
Oh, like in a charitable way?
In a charitable way, yeah, absolutely.
That's a really nice way to be part of your community.
Yeah, and that's the third part of our mission statement is to make a significant contribution to our community. And that is the heart of our company, and that is one of the strongest tiers to our mission statement.
Mm-hmm. So have you seen a change in what guests are demanding over especially the last 5 or 10 years?
Right now I see the big shift going into the whole biohacking thing. The recovery lounges are big, the IV lounges are big, but I'm starting to see that watering down a little bit because there was such a big demand for it, and now it's saturated. It seems like in our area it's saturated.
Well, in your area, sure.
Yeah, in Newport Beach especially, there are recovery lounges on every corner.
My goodness.
Yeah, and it seems like it's necessary, but I feel like the shift is going to happen almost like how we market. It's going back to some print ad, right? And I think in the spa world, biohacking is great. And I think we do biohacking as well. We have, the LED light beds, we have the infrared, we have the PMF mats, we have all those things. But I feel like that is a great business model because you don't have the overhead of staff, right? So it really works. But I feel that we're kind of losing something in the spa industry. Those things definitely work, but we're losing the human contact. It's no different than what happens on social media. Everybody's on social media, and that's how they're living most of their life is on social media. And that's where they're getting their human contact. Even like doing interviews like this, a lot of that is done online. You don't have that human interaction. I'm sitting in front of you. It's a different energetic connection, right?
For sure.
And I think that's what's happening in the spa industry. It's shifting to all these biohacking pieces of equipment, which is fantastic. But I think that should be used to augment the tradition of spa, which is the human touch and the contact. There's a lot of companies that are coming out now where even the massage part of it is being done by other than humans, right?
I had that on the podcast a few weeks ago.
And it's awesome. I think it's great. There's a certain format for that for sure.
It definitely doesn't replace a massage.
It doesn't.
But it augments, or, it's 30 minutes when you have a client having an anomaly that you need to give them something, and it doesn't call out sick.
Right. And I think, but all these things that are happening, I think is it's adding so much to wellness, but also taking something away from human interaction. That's what I feel. I think that energetic connection, that symbiotic relationship between humans is getting a little bit more and more and more strained. And I think that's what I think spa is going to lean back into is traditional spa services yet again, beyond just the medical and the biohacking.
Do you think that we should do something in our marketing to trumpet that we are going to, stick with humans and touch and just making sure people know we still have that? Is that important for us as an industry?
I think it is. I think it's just how do you transcend that message without undermining the other services you provide through the biohacking or the medical grade things that you do, right? And so I think that it will naturally start evolving in that direction. I feel like, and this is just my perspective, even just human interactions that I have anymore, it feels like people are becoming more of that avoidant kind of personality. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact they don't need to have human interaction, but we do need to have that human interaction.
Well, we see it in our children, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the idea of picking up the phone and calling someone, they're just like, what?
Right, exactly. Yeah, so that's a big thing. And I think that's what we are going to be there for. And that's going to be our primary purpose in terms of spa, is bringing things back to the basics of that contact.
Mm-hmm. What's your most popular service at Spa Gregory's right now?
Well, and that's it. Spa, massage. Massage,
still,
of course,
yeah.
yeah. Still, it's always going to be like 70-75% massage.
Is it?
Yeah, you could put these really great ads or advertisements on these really cool pieces of equipment. Even like the years ago, I don't know if you remember, but all the advertisement had the stones massage, right?
Yeah.
And these beautiful pictures with the stones down the back. And that is beautiful. It's a beautiful service. But a very small percentage of people get that service done on any regular basis. They may want to try it, but massage is always a leading part of our industry, I think.
Do you have a strong facial business?
We do. Yeah. Yeah. We have a very strong facial business. I mean, we are probably not just, I don't want to say a leader in the day spa world, but in terms of our retail to service is very high. We have great estheticians and we have great products. And when you put those two things together, that definitely serves the community, especially in a place, not just a place like Newport Beach, but everybody loves the beauty service. Nobody wants to age, right?
No.
It's so important to take care of your skin, of your mental health and your physical health and your skin health, of course.
Well, we know that people are so affected by how we look, and when we feel that we look well, we are in a better mood at least.
Right.
Are you able to share your retail to service ratio for skincare?
We average approximately 25%.
That's very
Yeah,
good.
some months 30%, some months a little bit lower, but we're in a pretty good space with retail to service.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what do you see as the next wave that we need to prepare for in our industry? I mean, in terms of challenges, staffing, like consumers, what's on your mind about worry?
I think, well, what I expressed is primarily one of my worries. I think the movement in spa, one thing has always worried me from many years ago was the med spa. The invention of the med spa. And I love the idea of med spa, right? But the unfortunate part of the spa world is when you go towards that aesthetic side of things and you're getting leaning to the injectables and the fillers and that kind of stuff. I feel we're getting away from what I have always thought the intention of spa was, and that's wellness, right? And we started an organization back in 2003 called Greet the Day, where we were serving people experiencing cancer, right? And then we developed a program where we were training the therapists on how to properly serve the cancer community without the risk that you would have serving the cancer community, in terms of creating lymphedema, those kinds of things. I wish our industry would lean more into that being med spa, whether it be, and it could be, like a lot of people are doing the hormone therapy, things of that nature. So
not the cosmetic approach, but more the well-being approach.
Yeah, but I think the world identifies med-spa with cosmetic. And then spa is now leaning in towards the technology side of things. And I wish, the concern I guess I would have is that we're getting away from the true wellness of spa, not totally wellness, but the internal wellness of spa, which is so important. And I believe that internal wellness of spa leads to better mental wellness as well.
So in closing, can you just speak to me about your staffing at the moment? How are you finding people and you've kept people very long? How does that happen?
Well, I think people like working for a company that has kind of a cause. And of course, we have to make money. We're a day spa. We can't rely like in a destination spa on the rooms and the booking of the rooms. That said, it's not all about the money at Spa Gregory's. Our margins could be a lot better than they are right now, but we have a different purpose as well. Again, serving our community, making a significant contribution to our community. And I think when you have a cause, people like that. I think staff likes that. They know that you're just not in it just to make money off of what they're doing, but you're making money to help support and put back into the community. And I think that might be at least part of the formula why we have staff that stick around for 20, 25 years. And the rest of them have been there mostly over 10 years, right? And so in terms of how we staff, we're not necessarily out there always looking for staff. We have people coming to us who want to work with us. And those opportunities are a little bit slim sometimes because we don't have people who leave, which is good.
Yeah.
So we built a family. We built a really fantastic family. So I think that's where we sit with staffing and why we are in the position we're in right now.
Well, kudos to you. I mean, maybe you're giving away a few margin points, but you're getting it back on the no stress of constantly scrabbling for staff members. Yes. Well, best of luck to Spa Gregory's in 2025. And thanks for joining us, Scott Duncan.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it.
So we're back at We Work Well in La Jolla. This is the spa event for fall of 2024, and I'm here with Tracy Harper. Most of you in the spa industry know Tracy very well from her long stint at Sun Valley, but she has recently uprooted her family and moved back to the South, to the Renaissance Rossbridge Golf Resort and Spa in Birmingham, Alabama. What a change. So welcome, Tracy. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
It's great to have you. So Tracy, for those that don't know you, tell us a little bit about how you became a spa director. What was your journey in the field?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. So I kind of stumbled into it. When I first got married, I worked at a spa and just as a front desk agent. But I remember, and I tell this story often, but if anybody knows Sharon Narduzzi, she was the one who interviewed me for my job. And I remember sitting there and talking with her and saying, I want to be here someday.
Oh, that's nice. Just the feeling of it really spoke to you.
Yes. And so I, being a year at that property, it was actually in Park City, Utah, but being at that property really provided me an opportunity. Someone saw the potential in me and gave me an opportunity to become a director when the director left. And I took it and have run with it since.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So how many years has it been you've been in spa?
Oh my goodness. 18, almost 20. Yeah.
So what's behind your move? Like you were such an established, person at your property and, what made you decide to pick up and move? I love that.
My husband, he decided we're at a point in our lives where we could choose where we wanted to go. And so he made a list of places that we wanted to go. And it was a list of things that would actually help our family thrive and just have a really great, we would just wanted to enjoy life and things that we'd love to do together. And so he made a list, and Birmingham, Alabama actually made it to the list. And I told him to move it to the bottom because I couldn't imagine myself living in Alabama. But we knew we loved the South, and we lived in Texas prior to Idaho. And so this position came up and I applied for fun. And once I got out to Alabama in the area and met with my boss and other people within the company, I was like, this is a given. Why not?
Amazing. So tell us about the Rossbridge location. Like what are some of the features of the property?
Well, the Rossbridge, the company itself is PCH Hotels. The owner, I just learned this, so I am new to the company, so I might just botch this. But so the owner, they manage the retirement for Alabama, and they decided they wanted to make something of Alabama and put all these golf courses throughout Alabama. So he did that, and then they dabbled into the hotel industry or hospitality. And it just grew from there. So we have properties from the top of Alabama all the way down to the coast. And we have a golf trail that they can golf all the way, top to bottom. And then our corporate director has created a spa trail. So not only can they do golf, but they can do a spa trail. So we have 6 spas within the company that they can go to and have an experience.
That's a clever idea. Do they win a prize if they go to all 6 or, what's the incentive? Yeah, they should.
I think
Get your passport stamped.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It is kind of like a passport, but it's kind of, it's called the Spa Trail member. But yeah, working on that. I think they should because I think it's great.
So what are some of the things that are different at this spa that you've seen? I know you're new, but you were established at Sun Valley, the clientele, you knew what they wanted. What's different so far in Alabama?
Well, one thing that I've learned is ski resort clientele is a lot different than Southern clientele. And I love both. But the difference at this property is the team, there's longevity there. I have therapists or service providers who have been there since opening. And
which was when? How
which
many years?
is 18 years ago. And so they know it, they love it. And they're a team that actually really embraces the lifestyle and the culture there. And so it really gets me excited as a director. I feel like I'm a seasoned director. And so getting in, sometimes you can get burnt out just kind of from everything that you have going on. But, they excite me. They get me excited about the industry again and different things. And I love it.
What sorts of services does the spa offer?
So we're in the process of actually redoing our menu with the team, but we're full service spa and salon. So massages, body treatments, facials, skincare, nails, and hair.
Wow, the whole gamut.
Yeah.
What's your top selling service?
Massage, hands down massage.
Yeah, I always ask because you never know. Once in a while, someone says it's a facial, but
I will have to say the HydraFacial is our most popular facial, and we will average out. Honestly, I don't even know because I don't know our numbers yet. But I mean, HydraFacial, I would say, is one of our most popular facials. We do a lot of HydraFacials.
what about for retail?
For retail, we're working on. There's a lot of opportunity there, and that's why I'm here.
Yeah, exactly. Here we work well buyer as a buyer, so you can see what's out there on the market.
And I think the fun thing about this is I'm seeing a lot of new retailers here. So a lot of new suppliers, and that excites me as well because I'm kind of starting up.
Well,
again.
both of us have been in the industry a long time, and it is so fun to have someone fresh and not just the same old faces all the time.
Yeah.
So, do you have any ideas about how you'd like to transform the spa in the coming year?
Yeah, there is a lot of opportunity there. I think elevating the experience, but also simplifying it, not only for our guests, but for our team members. I think it's better to have one thing that you're good at than focus on 10 different things trying to be good at those. And so that's one thing that I'm working with my team on, and just really elevating our experience by getting really good at different modalities and things that they love to do to share with our guests.
Do you find that sometimes I've seen this in certain properties or smaller properties that they really embrace therapists who have dual certification or licensing and they do different things? And it is great to have that, but it's really difficult to build your book in multiple areas. So having them focus, is that the kind of thing you mean?
Well, yes, that's part of it. I have a couple therapists who are dually licensed, but encouraging them to find something that they're more passionate about than others, I think, is really important. Even though I need a nail technician, if they're passionate about skincare, I'm not going to force them to be in nails. I really want them to be where they love to be. But then in addition to that, really curating a menu to cater to our therapist, that they can use their skills and everything. So I love menu development. It's one of my favorite things to do, and including the team in that. And so I think that's one direction that we're going, is that menu development and making those changes there to help elevate that experience.
I do think it's really important to include the team when you have an established property. I mean, they're the ones that touch the guest, that hear, oh, why don't you have this, or can you try that? And so what better source to see what you should add or take away from the menu? I mean, we can sit in offices and look at numbers and reports, and you can say, oh, well, we sold 4 of these last year. We don't need that on our menu. But maybe you sold 4 because you don't market it right, or there's another reason, right? So how do you decide what will stay and what will go?
Well, I think one thing that's really important is if you choose a line that the team loves and has a passion in, it's going to sell itself. I just recently met with some other vendors or suppliers, just letting them know, how are you going to sell the retail? And I said, if my service providers are passionate about it, it sells itself because they will embrace that brand. And I think that's why it's really important to include our service providers, because I may love a line because I love the scent, or I love a lotion, or I love a skincare product. But at the end of the day, if they don't love what they're doing, it tells in your retail sales. It shows.
And you're not in the treatment room with the client, right?
Exactly. I'm not even qualified to tell them what products they should and shouldn't be using. They are the qualified.
No, and you're right. If
providers.
they love it, they will have a much better reaction to it. But do you ask the companies to help with that? I've heard some vendors lately are being more stingy with samples or sizes for the providers to try, and then they don't get to experience the product well enough to retail it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a firm believer, the buyers and sellers, that is a partnership. It's not you work for me or I work for you. It is a partnership. And so I think it's really important that anybody that we choose is going to provide support, not necessarily giving a ton of samples, but giving my team the opportunity to dabble into the product and learn more about it and try it. I mean, they can come and do a demo. I always, even when I'm bringing in a skincare line, I always invite them to come in and do a demo. And I always tell them, you can sell me on it, but you've got to sell my team on it. And I think that's what's really important.
I agree. So In terms of menu development, let's talk a little bit about pricing. I mean, you're in a system, they have other spas in the system. Are you able to set your own prices, and how do you come to that conclusion of what to price something?
So right now, I'm not sure if I can set my own prices, but I do know that I have a very supportive corporate director who really supports the direction of whatever we're going to do within the spa. So that's really comforting to know. But as far as setting prices, I mean, your cost per treatment is really important. There's a few aspects to it. There's a comp set that you have to do within the area. And then you also have to look at your cost per treatment. If your treatment is going to cost you, 15 to 20%, you have to price up to what it is, regardless of what the comp set is, because otherwise you're just losing money.
Exactly. I noticed that spas in an area will look at what each other is charging and they all charge that, or some, within $5 or $10 without taking into account the cost per treatment of the products or the location itself, or so many other factors that have to be considered.
Yeah.
You can't just pick prices out of thin air.
Well, and that's where it's important with the partnerships with the suppliers is to have them really stand behind the brand and be able to get the team to stand behind the brand. Because regardless of what service we're offering or the price that we're charging, if they're behind the brand, it's going to be an easy sell for them. A $300 facial. Why is it $300? Is it an added value? Is it a great brand and supplier that we're using? And so that's where those partnerships are really important.
So Rossbridge has golf in the title. I guess golf is an important component. Will you consider that in your menu development, having sort of golf-oriented treatments?
We do. We actually have a RTJ golf massage that is already incorporated in all of our spas within PCH hotels. And it's a massage with the golf balls, and it's kind of a trademark there. So they definitely have that, and we're going to really grow on that and see what we can do. But I think too, we have a lot of men in and out of that golf course. And so really going back to the basics and creating a gentleman's menu where we can get more men in our spa is really important to us as well.
No, that seems like a good strategy.
Uh-huh.
So Tracy, looking ahead to 2025, what do you see on the horizon that's exciting you about spa and wellness in general?
Well, wellness, I think it's amazing. I love spa, but I think going into 2025, I think you're going to find more spas that are going to create more immersion experiences outside of the spa. So it's really taking the spa experience and getting creative on the outside. You're already seeing that with other properties and different resorts that are within the industry. But I think this industry is very creative, and it's really going to be neat to see more immersion experiences when it comes to spa and wellness and more mindful experiences. I think that's really going to be something that'll expand.
Something that you'll incorporate in the menu?
Absolutely.
Like anything specific when it comes to mindfulness?
Yeah. So we are creating, actually just this last month, we did a spa golden hour where guests could come and actually sit and watch the sunset with us. And we provided signature cocktail mocktail, a food, some live music, and we just sat and watched the sunset. And we didn't really have to do anything special other than just spending time with our guests and creating kind of that opportunity for them to disconnect, to reconnect.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something that we're definitely going to continue to do.
It's a nice idea if you've got the setting and the Chase lounges or whatever you need. So you just sit outside and you sit together. Did you play music or?
We had live music, and then we have 2 beautiful fire pits that they got to sit around, and we provided logo blankets for them and different things like that. So it was really, they had an opportunity to try our Serenity pool as well. So it was an opportunity for us to showcase a new part of the resort, but in addition, providing them just a different outlook and a different experience.
I love
within
that
resort.
Did you charge for it?
We did.
Like how much?
We charged $50.
Really?
$50 per person.
And how many people did you have?
We ranged from about 15 to 20 people, but there's one that we just did and had 5 people, but it doesn't matter. It was more of the experience, and we want people to start talking because those are events that we're not doing currently at the property. And so it's something that we're is starting to build. And I think as you stay consistent with those events and different things that you offer, people are going to start living the lifestyle and start wanting to crave that experience, which is something that we're trying to do. And it takes phases, right?
Sure,
it takes
sure.
phases to do that. And so that's what excites me is we're in phase 1. I can't wait to see phase 10.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about it. I mean, that's so clever. And what a great way to get them to unplug with you without there being a labor component. Like there's other ways to use the spa. So kudos to you. We look forward, Tracy Harper, to seeing what else comes out of the Renaissance Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa now that they have you. Lucky them.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for joining us here at We Work Well.
My pleasure.